Welcome this Friday morning. We're going to be talking about your infinite power to be rich, wealthy, abundant, whatever you want to call it. So if this is for you, then continue to listen to this live. If it's not, keep scrolling. See you later. We all have an infinite power to attract all things to us. And the reason that we have this infinite power is because we're infinite beings with a consciousness so expansive that we can never calculate it. What's up, everybody's joining? How we doing? I want to tell you, hi Ben, I want to tell you about a story that happened to me when I was traveling in the airport a couple days ago. Get on the plane. I never, ever, ever, ever book a middle seat. Most people probably don't. I book an aisle seat. So I get my ticket and it says 33B. And I'm like, maybe it's just a small plane and it has two seats. There's a reason why I'm telling you this story. So I get to the back of the plane and it's a middle seat. I'm like, there's absolutely no way I'm sitting on a 3+ hour flight in a middle seat. So I look and I booked my ticket very last minute and the plane was completely full, right? So I looked at my email and the ticket said 30D, which is an aisle seat. So I'm like, I don't care if I'm in the back of the plane, whatever. And I never booked back of the plane anyway, but there was just no seats available, but there was that one aisle seat. So I booked it and I got to the back and I said, I did not book this seat and I'm not sitting here. Like, I was fuming because my bag was really heavy that I was carrying. I walked from like one terminal to the other. That took forever. And my neck was hurting, my back was hurting. I'm like, this is not the seat that I got and this is not the seat that I'm sitting in. Please, like, figure out what's going on, because someone was already in my seat. I won't tell you the story about the person who was in my seat. And so she said, well, I have to call, the podium outside of the plane for her to look at the seating chart. I said, well, here's my ticket on my email. This is what it says. I'm not sitting here, whatever. So she said, she gets off the phone. She says, you're going to have to get off the plane and go to the podium, but you have to take your bag with you. I said, I'm not taking my bag because then they're going to make me check the bag. I'm not taking the bag off the plane. There's no shot. She's like, we have to, because if we have another seat up in the front, you're not going to be able to get your bag, whatever. So I dragged the bag. I mean, this bag was a humongous duffel bag. Hit every single... Oh, thanks, Ben. I'll get closer then. Hit every person on the way up with my two huge bags. Got off the plane. And the lady's like, what are you doing off the plane? I was like, the stewardess told me to come up here, blah, blah. She said, you can't be up here. You have to get on. Like, the door's going to close. And I said, she literally just told me. And I start screaming like a lunatic. Once I'm done, I'm done. So I start screaming like a maniac. She's like, there's possibly a seat, 16C, that if someone doesn't come, you could have that seat, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'm not sitting in the middle seat. I was like a maniac. So she's like, you need to get on the plane. So I walk back down the jetway with the bag. And the whole time I'm walking down the jetway. This is why I'm telling this story. Even though I was heated and I was furious and I was literally like a maniac, people were looking at me. I was saying to myself, only great things happen to me. Only great things happen to me. In the process of while I was fuming, only great things happen to me. Only great things happen to me. Only great things happen to me. I'm Krystal Tini and only great things happen to me. So I get down to the door and there's still like a couple people that have to get on the plane. So the woman comes down and she's like, ma'am, you have a seat at 16C and the middle seat is open. So I was like, she's like, was that so hard? I was like, actually it wasn't. I was still crazy. I was still like a maniac. Screaming on the plane, off the plane. So I told the stewardess, I said, I don't know where I'm going to put my bag because the whole plane is already full. She's like, oh, I have a place for your bag in first class. So she takes my gigantic duffel bag, puts it on the top in first class. I had a seat 16C. This is a full flight with people on standby. I had a full flight, and this woman somehow, I manifested the flight, the seat at 16C, which was an aisle, and the middle seat open. This is a full flight. Because I was putting the energy out there that only great things happen to me. Even though I was so irate, only great things happen to me. I was not expecting that. Like, not. As soon as I sat down, because I was the last person aboard, I looked next to me. There was a seat open as well. So not only did I get an aisle seat in the front of the plane, I also had a middle seat open. Because I was repeating, I'm Krystal Tini and only great things happen to me. And we talked about this before. Even in the dumbest situations, you can attract these very fortunate situations. because I kept saying over and over again, from the back of the plane to the front of the plane, off the plane, back on the plane, only great things happen to me. Only great things happen to me. Only great things happen to me. So it's just going to show you, this is about our infinite power to be rich or abundant, right? This is also about your energy, where you're focusing your mind. Even though I was angry, I just kept repeating this phrase. And out of nowhere, a seat opens up in the front of the plane, middle seat open. That is the power of manifestation. That is the power of refocusing your energy. The plane was completely full. They kept saying, this is a completely full flight. This is a completely full flight. They were trying to pay people. I'm glad you just received your patches. Congrats. They were trying to pay people to go into a different flight. Not only did I get an aisle seat in the front, this seat next to me was also open. So, now we're going to go on to your infinite power to be rich. And again, this all goes back to your mindset. If you're a person that complains about literally everything, and someone makes suggestions, you're like, no, that'll never work for me. I tried this before. Julie, who literally basically runs a lot of my life, she's like, you really need to do coaching. You really need to do coaching. I want to do group coaching. I don't want to do one-on-one coaching because I don't want to sit there and listen to somebody's misery for an hour or an hour and a half. I'll do it on a group chat and we could figure this out together, but I don't want my energy there. This is why I do this, so I can teach this, so that when I do my group coaching, many people have already have an idea of what we're going to do. It's just going to be a little bit more individualized. Side note, that's 2025. So your infinite power to be rich, this is by Joseph Murphy, who is my favorite. So a lot of people will ask me, where do you start with the whole journey of manifestation / prayer, because they refer to it as prayer, manifesting. It's the same thing, it's just two different words. Karen is a rock star. I'm a hairstylist, so we absorb a lot. Exactly. So I'm not trying to do one-on-one. So let me just go back to that about, someone that's just negative about everything. No, but it's not going to work. I tried to do this and, it's just not the right time and blah, 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 blah. No, my flight wasn't delayed. My first flight was delayed, actually. Most people can't find a solution to something because they don't know that they actually have a problem. And this is the case with 99% of the population don't understand that they have a victim mindset, a poverty mindset. So 99% of the world doesn't understand that their vibrational frequency that emanates from them is what is causing them all the strife and all the struggles and all the trouble that they have. It is your vibration. That's it. This isn't woo-woo anything. It's scientific. Everything, this table, that Christmas tree, is frequency, energy, and vibration. Even people say, when you eat your produce, bless your produce. Bless your food. Why do they tell you to bless your food? Do you know how many people handle the food that we eat every single day? And their energy is put on it. If you have someone that is miserable and hateful and they're handling your food, say they're delivering your fruit from somewhere or whatever, their energy goes into the molecular structure of your food. The person that's cooking at a restaurant, maybe they're having the worst day. I hate this fucking job, whatever it is. That energy is going into your food. Because it's just energy. It's just energy that is being pushed onto something. We are energy that is pushing onto our world outside of us. So if we are a magnet to all things that are like our energy, think about what your energy's like. There's so many people that are considered, truthers, and they want to help people with the awakening process, and they're miserable and they're negative and they just look for the next thing to expose. That's not a good vibration. It's not good to be on a vibration where everything in your life is doom and gloom and the sky is falling every single day. Because as much negative or dark things as there is on this planet or plane or realm, there is an infinite amount of good that a lot of people don't focus on. If we focus more on the good will come to us, you, me. But if we're always focusing on the bad, the negative, you see what this person said, you see what's happening here, we continue to attract that into our world. In the same token is if you're constantly saying, oh, I can't afford this. Oh my God, I have $10 in my bank account. My job sucks. I hate it. It doesn't pay me enough money. I just can't catch a break. If we are familiar with these type of phrases, you live in a victim and poverty mindset. Sorry, everybody, if that offends anyone. That's where you're at. And that's why you will continue to stay there unless you change your mindset. And for most people, doing that is too much work. So much so that we'd rather live miserably. We'd rather live with the things that we want and can't have because it's too much work for us to change our mindset, to change our attitude towards life. So again, we're going to talk or look at your infinite power to be rich. And I was saying about Joseph Murphy, when people ask what the best place to start is with manifestation, I always say to begin with The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy is the first book that you should get if you want to learn about how to utilize your mind properly. Because our mind doesn't come with an instruction manual. It just comes with a blank sheet of paper, and then all the people around us are infusing us with their energy, which becomes our programming. If we had a mother that was always yelling and screaming all the time, or if we had a father that was abusive, verbally abusive, emotionally abusive, whatever it was, or whatever they talked about, if they always fought in front of you, that becomes your programming of life, and it does not change until you change it yourself. If you do not change it yourself, you will always attract a partner that will fight with you, a person that doesn't treat you well, someone that always leaves you because your I amness, which is what we always talk about. But again, going back to the power of the subconscious mind, 99% of the population does not know how to use their subconscious mind at all. They don't even know that they have one, let alone how to use it. So the power of the subconscious mind is a phenomenal place to start. It might be a little wordy for some people, but once you get the understanding or the general understanding of how your mind works, you're like, shit, I was in control the whole time. You mean to tell me I can control what happens in my life? Me? Yes. Our religion teaches us that it's the person outside of us or it's the thing outside of us that gives us all the things. It's just the energy that is reflected back to you that gives you all things. If I put out energy into the world of happiness and joy and all these things, happiness and joy will come back to me. But if I put out into the universe, why does that person have this and I don't? Must be nice to drive that car. Wow, you live here. Must be nice to have a cool house like this. You live in a poverty mindset. You come from a state of lack. So if you are one of those people, this is definitely a great live to watch. So I'm really feisty this morning, and I'm not really sure why yet. I'm trying to figure that out. Begin now to clearly realize that the creative power within you is unlimited. Then there is no reason whatsoever for limiting the extent to which you may enjoy and experience what you can create by means of this power. You are drawing from the infinite source, and you never need to worry about taking more than your share because the infinite storehouse is inexhaustible, eternal, the same yesterday, today, and forever. So when people will say, or these idiots, oh, we're running out of oil, we're running out of water, all this other stuff, there is an infinite supply of everything. Oh, the food supply, infinite supply. It is not possible unless they burn down the entire earth to destroy all the food on this realm. Not possible. It's infinite. Man's great folly is not realizing the true riches within himself, and in looking upon external products, possessions, and conditions as being the true riches instead of the creative power of his own mind. So what we see in this three-dimensional world, we think that that's all that there is, not realizing that we create the opportunity in here to find more of what it is that we're looking for. So if someone says, oh, that car is not going to be available for this amount of time, I always tell that story. I manifested a car that was pretty much a custom car in less than 24 hours. Oh, it's going to take forever for you to get that car. It doesn't exist. There is always a divine surplus of everything. There's a divine surplus of your health. There's a divine surplus of everything in this world. Karen and I do it multiple times in the day. What are you talking about, Ben? Hi, Mare. Everything, there's a divine surplus. Everything you see in my background, there is more of, right? So when we come and live from a state of lack of like, oh, there's just not enough, or nobody pays attention to me, or how can I get people to help me with my business? You're not living from your infinite ability to create the life that you want. And when you finally realize that you're able to create the life that you want just by thinking it into existence, things will literally start to change pretty rapidly. But it is your belief. Feeling is the secret. Do you feel it to be real? Oh my God, she has an Illuminati symbol on her mug. Oh, scratch your ass. I am feisty today, jeez. Remember, there is no limit in taking what you will from the infinite storehouse. Your true wealth consists in identifying yourself with the source of opulence and great riches. Think opulence, that is, think big, think generously and liberally, and you will find good flowing to you from all quarters, such as money and countless other things, all representing different facets of wealth. So with that being said, I manifested a scenario that has been really troubling for a while. Is it the full moon? Because I'm an absolute lunatic today. From the second I opened my eyes. But I manifested a situation in my favor that I didn't understand how it was going to unfold. And not only was it like, oh, it was a good outcome, it was the best possible outcome that I couldn't even imagine would happen. Because this has been ongoing for so long with no resolution. And I finally spoke to the person that I was supposed to speak to, and they gave me 3 different scenarios, and I could choose all 3. It wasn't even just like one option. It was, like I said, it unfolded. So when I tell you that the universe, when you send a call out about something, it will give you it back in ways that you could never expect. So even if things, like the whole unfolding of this scenario was just like one bad thing after the other. But because I know it's not my end desire, I could have been like, fuck this is horrible, I can't believe this, I'm quitting, I'm not doing this anymore. But because I know the law of assumption, am I frozen? I assume that which I want to be true. So that end situation was more than I could have ever even thought of. But I was affirming that thank you that all of this is completely resolved in the best possible way. Thank you that this is all resolved in the absolute best possible way. And I didn't know what that best possible way was. I just woke up to an email and I was like, okay, what's this all about? Had a meeting, and I was like, by the end of it, after an hour meeting that I thought would be probably 10 or 15 minutes, I was like, okay, I do repeat, my name is Krystal Tini and only good things happen to me, but I just didn't expect what it was. So the universe always has surprises for us, God, whomever that you relate to, always has surprises for us if we believe that it will happen to us. If we have the vibration like everything's taken care of, I'm good. Instead of every day constantly worrying about things. How is this going to unfold? Why is it not here yet? That pushes things away because of your doubt, because of the negativity of the situation. Because if the universe is only reflecting back to us how we feel and what energy we're putting out there, then the energy of where is it? Where is it? That's energy of I don't have, I don't have, I don't have. The universe can only give you, oh, okay, we're going to give you more of you don't have, you don't have, you don't have. That's it. That's just the way that it works. So I just kept setting the intention. And for a while, I was really dwelling on it, which is probably why it took so much longer. Is because I was constantly worried about it. I was constantly like angry about it. But at the same time, I was just saying, I know that this is going to unfold perfectly. So when we have that belief system that all things work out perfectly for me, all of a sudden it does. And it's the same thing with money, with your finances. It's believing I have everything that I need. Even if you have $5 in your bank account, I have everything that I need. I'm always provided for. Thank you for providing me with all the things that I need. Because when we're putting that type of energy out there, that's the type of energy that we get back. Eventually. Maybe it doesn't happen tomorrow, maybe it does. I manifested like $30,000 in like a couple of hours. 30 grand. I was like, oh. And I don't remember exactly what my thoughts were, but I just knew that there was other money somewhere that I didn't realize where it was. And it showed up. That money showed up, and I was like, oh my God. That was crazy, because I manifested $5,000 in like 6 hours. But this was like 30,000 in like no time, and I was just like, all of a sudden it was just like, you know what? Check out this this e-wallet thing. Check out this wallet and see, what's in there. And it was like I think it was like $27,000. Yes. Oh, okay. That was interesting. So we have the ability to do these things. And I know some people that are listening to this are probably thinking, yeah, sure, great, how lucky you are. But any one of us can manifest abundance out of literal thin air. That was out of thin air. And how we can do that, or how it might happen, is say a relative like won the lottery and they were just like, you know what, I'm going to give you $50,000. I'm going to give you $100,000, whatever. Crazier things can happen. It's just the belief that somewhere out there, money is coming to me. Money is coming to me in the best way possible, right? Because we don't want anybody dying and you inheriting your inheritance. An infinite amount of money is coming to me, in the best way possible, whatever it is. Joe Astrid. And it can happen very, very quickly. So your belief, it's been happening to me. I love it. Monique, what is your story? Tell us your story. Type it out and I'll read it. The more you shift and change your energy, the more your energy that will come back to you changes. This is what I needed to hear. Thank you. Infinite possibilities are available at all times. I love what you're saying. And that's the truth, though. It's like, how do you manifest 27 grand just like in 5 minutes? I literally just had an inkling. I'm like, I know that there's a lot of money somewhere. Let me give a look at this. And I never used this app before. People with crypto. Maybe you put $5 in crypto, and then the next day, your crypto went through the roof, and now all of a sudden you're a millionaire. Like, crazy things can happen very quickly. You have to believe and have the belief that abundance is your birthright, that you deserve to have infinite possibilities, that you deserve to have all the things that you want. That doesn't mean anything. Let's tackle this. Krystal, but you are beautiful. Money will fall from a tree with you. It will find you. I have dried up leaves. That is a belief. I have dried up leaves. So that's what we're uncovering right now, is a mindset where you believe that this can't happen to you. I didn't have this my whole life. I had a poverty mindset. I had the salary of a dancer. I made $150 a night when I worked at nightclubs. When I did gigs, people were like, oh, we'll pay you $100 for like the whole day, but it's great exposure. Like, thank you, but exposure's not paying my fucking bills. So I used to say, okay, well, if I work this many nights or days this week, this is how much I'll make, and I'll be able to pay my bills, and I'll have a little bit of extra money. That is called a poverty mindset. That is a poverty mindset. So if you're saying like, you have all these things and I have dried up leaves, like that is a victim mentality, poverty mindset. And it's not to be attacking to anybody. It's just to make you realize like the things that we say, like someone said, your word is your wand. Our word is our wand. So if every day I'm saying like, oh, I could never have that. I could never have these things. This person is just so positive all the time or whatever. Like I didn't always think like this. I always knew that there was this possibility to be able to speak things into existence, but I didn't understand the science behind it, which is why I teach this stuff, because I want people to understand that the energy and the vibrational frequency that you put out there, where's that book at, is that matters. Like I have a whole book on frequency that I'm looking at and I can't reach it right now. It's this thick. And it's literally all number sequences of every illness. Every illness, sickness, is on a specific number frequency, right? So if you can, you can get a Rife machine, and the Rife machine can be set to whatever frequency and literally kill those illnesses, right? Harmonize that energy. In the same way that the energy that comes from us is on a very specific number sequence. And if we're vibrating from a place of, I don't have this, and I'll never have this, that number frequency just goes out and finds the like energy, and you're in harmony with it. Just like an illness. If you can find an illness that's on a 1, 2, 3, you can set the Rife machine to 1, 2, 3, and it will literally neutralize that illness. In the same way that whatever number frequency you're on, if it's poverty, negativity, jealousy, whatever that might be, it literally will go out into the universe of energies, frequencies, and vibrations and find that exact same frequency and bring you scenarios that are on that same energy level. Right? I have a large Rife. I love that you're talking about. Rife is the truth, man. So it depends on what frequency you put out into the world every day. If you're like, oh my God, I just don't have any clients, like, it's so hard to sell a house right now, or whatever your mindset is, that is the energy that you walk around with every single day. So how could you expect, if like attracts like, how could you expect you to get different energy or different results if you're saying, oh, the real estate market's just so hard, and there's other real estate people that are crushing it. So what is your excuse? Your excuse is your energy and vibration sucks. That's what your excuse is. Your Infinite Power to Be Rich is the book. And I'm not saying that to be insulting. I'm saying that because it's the truth. Your frequency sucks. If you want to attract great things, you can't walk around every day and say, oh, I'm in so much pain today. I don't have any money. It's Christmas. I'm broke. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Thanks, Karen. You're the shit. I have a really potty mouth today, guys. So I'm really sorry about that. Like we said, our word is our wand. Every word that you speak is a spell. Spell casting. We are casting a spell on ourselves all day long. And if you're talking about somebody else and you think that doesn't apply to you, your mind doesn't know, your subconscious mind doesn't understand if you're talking about someone else or you're talking about yourself. Oh my God, you see how much weight that person gained? And all of a sudden you start to get fat. Do we understand? The same thing is like, oh my God, yeah, that person lost everything. They have no money. They're always broke all the time. You're putting out that energy into the universe, and the universe is going to reward you with the same exact energy. Right? Yes, right. Okay, let's go to the next page. Okay. Money is a medium of exchange. It is a symbol of freedom, beauty, power, luxury, refinement, and rich and joyous living. Many people view money as something that is bad or negative. It's so hard to make money. Every time I make money, I lose it. I just don't have luck with money. I've always been bad with money. Money is a medium of exchange. So how do you view money is going to determine how much money you can possibly make. Because if you're constantly thinking of money in a state of lack, you're only going to get lack in money. I'm living proof of miracles and that they do exist and that the universe vibrationally has to match our frequency. Once that we do understand that, we're just like, well, shit, I've been doing this wrong my whole life. I complain every minute of every friggin' day from the second I wake up. So even though I had to carry all of my stuff off of the plane, I was hot, I was tired, my back and my neck were hurting. The whole time that the stewardess is on the phone back there, I'm going, only great things happen to me, only great things happen to me. And I was so mad, but I was like, only great things happen to me, only great things happen to me. Surely enough, I got a seat on the front of the plane, window seat, middle seat open, the whole thing. There was at least 20 people on standby. So can someone explain that? It's the belief that great things happen to you. It is the belief that great things happen to you no matter how shitty your scenario looks. I thought they were going to throw me off the plane because I was yelling like a nut. I'm like one of those people you see in a movie. And they're like carrying me off the plane by my hands and feet. that was me. So even though I was really fired up, I just knew like, no, it all works out. It all works out because my first flight was delayed. And I'm like, I'm not worrying about it. I'm going to get I literally got to my gate with 10 minutes left. So I didn't have to wait around. I was just like, no, only great things happen to me. That's it. Only great things happen to me. And surely enough, it all worked out. Money may be looked upon as a divine idea, maintaining the economic health of the nations. It should be used wisely, judiciously, and constructively. You become financially secure by impressing in your mind that money is not only good, but very good, and it blesses mankind in countless ways. How much more can you do when you have more money? Oh, I can, go on this trip. I can take my family on this vacation. They can have this amazing experience. Oh, I can go and buy all this. Like the other day, I went to the dog store and I bought a bunch of dog treats. And there's all these homeless dogs. And I just opened the bag and surely enough, I started to see all these dogs and I was giving them treats. People that don't have money to even buy things for themselves, you can't bless other people when you don't have a lot of money. Or you don't have enough money. Some people don't want a lot of money. And abundance doesn't look like $100 million or whatever. Abundance looks different to everybody. Abundance could be just having enough. Whatever abundance means to you, it's just the fact of not struggling, not being in a victim mentality or a poverty mindset. It's not that we all need to be so rich. But you should have enough that you can do the things that you want to do. That's my opinion. That's how I see it. I don't believe that anybody should be in a state of struggle because of the way that they think. And that's the only way that it can unfold. Life will reward you when you believe and accept success as your divine right. The real key to financial security is to constantly feel, know, and imagine yourself serving others in a grander, greater, and more wonderful way. Imagine greater and greater success and abundance happening to you. Accept all monies received with a deep appreciation and use them freely with grateful acknowledgement to the infinite being from whom all blessings flow. Thank God, thank the universe, whatever it is, it's the same thing. It's whatever name that you want to call it. But anytime something happens, oh my God, I'm so grateful. Maybe when you're buying Christmas presents, I'm so grateful that I can buy these presents for someone. Whatever it is, I'm so grateful that I can go on this walk today and I feel good enough. When we have gratitude, that is an energy. So the universe, the infinite power, can give us more things to be grateful for. Use the following prayer frequently and you will convey the idea of financial security to your subconscious mind. Because again, of course, it's repetition. I know that money is an idea in divine mind. It symbolizes wealth. I recognize it as a means of exchange. All of God's ideas are good. God created all things. He pronounced his creation good and very good. Money is good. I use it wisely, judiciously, and constructively. I use it to bless mankind. It is a very convenient symbol. I rejoice in its circulation. So whenever you say, oh, I spent so much money. Spent means less than. Spent means you don't have enough or some has left you. Oh, I circulated so much money today. Circulation means it's coming back. I circulated so much money. Not, oh my God, I spent so much money today. I circulated so much money because circulation means that I have the idea and the notion and the knowing that money's coming back. I circulated money. I know that money is an idea in divine mind. It symbolizes wealth. I recognize it as a means of exchange. I'm going to put this in the caption today. All of God's ideas are good, so I don't have to read it again. God's ideas are instantly available to me. I have a divine surplus. God is my source of supply. That is my supply now. Wealth of all kinds flowed to me in avalanches of abundance. There is only one God and one mind. Every idea in the mind of God is spiritual. My relationship to money is friendly. My relationship to money is friendly. It is a symbol of God's wealth and his infinite abundance. The idea of money is omnipresent. I am one with all the wealth in the world. I use it for good only, and I thank the Father for thy supply. Yesterday I was in tears due to a painful injury. It took me 3 hours to clean 3 horse stalls. I cried the whole time, yet I still kept saying only good things happen to me. Mayor, I love that. I love it. I hope that you're feeling better today. And use glutathione on your pain too. That's a new trick that Kayla told me. So, that's where we'll conclude for today. But I think that helps people with the idea of finances and what that looks like to be able to manifest anything. I'm drinking Shilajit this morning with mushroom chocolate something. So, hopefully that was helpful for you today. And I'll see you on, it's Friday already, I'll see you guys on Monday. And I will repost this live. How did you become rich and have a cute house? I manifested it. This apartment, I manifested. Everything in this apartment, I manifested. I'll tell you really quick about how I manifested everything in here. When I was dating someone that a lot of you know in Texas, what a nightmare. Anyway, there was a place that there were these huge sheds on this one property. Everything was a different antique shop. It was the coolest place I've ever seen. And so when I moved from California, I was staying with my sister for a couple months. I'm like, I got to get my own place. My sister's like, no, just stay. I'm like, I'm getting my own place. I got to go. So I manifested this apartment. And then I said, you know what? And I was driving down the street where this store was. I really wish there was a place like whatever the place was in Texas. I was like, I really wish, that there was a place like that I could find these things. I shit you not, I'm driving down the street and I look over and there's a place called Redecor that says like estate sale, whatever it said. And I was like, let me go in here. That's when I saw these doors. That's when I saw those doors there. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So literally pretty much everything in my apartment is from that store. And I have found so many cool things. I don't think you guys have really seen this part. But I don't ever use that TV. It's been unplugged for 3 years. So all of these things were from this shop. And little by little, I was just like collecting things. Even these pillows were from this store. And then I spray painted hearts on them, of course. But I manifested everything that I had. I knew exactly what I wanted in my head. And that is what manifestation is seeing it real first. I mean, we've lived, around this area. My mom lived around this area for so long. And I was like, Mom, I found this store. They have all this really cool stuff. It's called Redecor. And she's like, oh, I sold some of my stuff there from the old house. And I was like, I didn't even know. But that's literally manifestation. Is just you literally call it into existence. That's all that it is asking the universe, hey, can you find this for me? They're like, yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can find this for you. And then it shows up in your reality. It's like your own assistant. So we have to treat our subconscious mind as like it's our own assistant. Ask and you shall receive. It's our own magic genie. Right? Ask and you shall receive. Like that's what that means. But you have to believe what you're asking for. You have to believe what you are asking for in order to be able to receive it. Instead of asking for it, like, this is never going to happen. This is so stupid. Like, why am I even doing this? Like, yeah, sure, I'm just going to ask for something that's going to appear. Actually, yes. I've literally done it with everything in my present life right now. I have done it with everything. Literally everything. So if I can do it, there's nothing special about me. I just know how it all works. It's not a coincidence. I'm so happy I fell upon this live. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. Everything happens in divine timing. So people will hear the message that they need to hear at the exact time that they need to hear it because they attracted it to themselves. You did this. So congratulations that you are on the frequency of wanting to learn more about how to bring more abundance to yourself. Because it's not luck. It's your energy and vibration. Something led you to this very point of sitting here and listening to this. Everything led us to everything that we have. Because I asked for these things. So something led me to find all these things. It's really simple. So I hope that you guys found value in this, and I will repost it. I'll repost the prayer in the caption so that you can screenshot it and then just read it every day. Read it every day. Make it the background of your phone. The background of your phone should be your vision board. The background of my phone is my vision board. It's all the things that I want. I made a collage of all the things. So every time I open my phone, subconsciously, my conscious mind, my subconscious mind sees those messages of what it is. So all the things that you want, whether it's a car, a house, money, things, get very, very specific. How much money that you want to have, write it out and put it on your collage. Right? I saw some posts that they had jury duty and I grumbled with them about doing it. And a week later I got summoned. I was like, dang, I did this to myself. You did. That's just the way that it works. It's just the energy that we're putting out there. So hopefully this is helpful. I'll see you all on Monday. Got some projects coming up for 2025. So I think it's going to be a beautiful year. Despite all the crazy shit and the drones flying across our skies illegally, we're going to get through it. We're going to manifest better for ourselves. Literally, did you see the drones in Jersey? They're actually in this area now too, which is pretty wild. I didn't see them yet because I haven't been looking for them, but have a beautiful day and I will see you guys Monday morning.